So what did we learn? Allow time would be the first thing that I would say. And it was important for us to, as I said before, to do this right. So allowing the time to talk to providers, come back to PRSB, do the clinician's review. So definitely allow time to do this process if you're going to do it right. Engage customers to ensure that when you've done it, people are actually going to use and adopt what you've done. Being clear around why you're doing it, I think, is important. You have a roadmap that you're committing to. New things come up. There's always competing priorities. So I think if you're not clear from the outset about why you're doing this, I think it's an item that can very easily slip if you're looking at something else that feels, a bit more shiny. Maybe there's more revenue attached to that thing. So I think having that clarity of purpose is really important, just to keep the focus and to keep, the commitment throughout to see it to fruition. And finally, I would say absolutely aim high, but be realistic. So one of the good things about having gone through the process with PRSB was that there were times we were able to say, well, this all looks great on the standard, but we're never going to be able to implement this, or we can implement it, but people are never going to use it out in the field. So what is the key purpose and what are we trying to drive at? And what is the middle ground that means we get, the adoption that we want for the standard? So I think absolutely good to set the bar high, but I think there will be times where you kind of just have to work with what is the reality. And certainly from my perspective, talking of social care providers, the reality of the pressure that they're working under and what is the key information that they will need and that they will actually use. So in terms of next steps, we're just wanting to drive that usage by our care providers, and then beginning to think about how we share that information across systems. So that's about, somebody talked about the fire profiles, looking at that particular aspect as well, so that that information can move across systems if required. And then, thinking about what other PRSB standards are out there that are relevant, applicable, that we might want to be assessed against, very much linking to, the push we're getting from our providers to get more standards implemented.